Hey there, welcome to today's Insight on a Wonderful Life. I thought I would take today's episode to share a bit about what I know in the world of transformation and pretty much the foundation of why it is I do what I do and why it is so fun for me. This forms the inspiration for creating this podcast, for creating my community, for helping people in the way that I want to help them move toward their goals without all the struggle. And it's really fun for me because I get to help people have their own version of a happy, peaceful, and present life. So I was really inspired to share this because I started reading Michael Neill's latest edition of Supercoach, and in there he puts this in a really simple way that I'd love to share with you in my own words. I imagine that if I had someone sitting in front of me and if we were talking about how we would work together over the long term and the space in which we would explore and have our conversations, this would be it. So if you would imagine a horizontal line that goes from A to B, this is what traditional coaching looks like, and I just term it A to B goals. A lot of us have A to B goals. We want to get from here to here. This might have been better as a video, but we have A to B goals, and this is through the entirety of our life. If we want to get an A in that test, if we want to lose, a few pounds, if we want to make an extra $1,000 per month. These are all simplistic goals on this horizontal line of traditional coaching. And of course, there are many people out there that can help us get from A to B. The other dimension of coaching that is not as common is simply deep coaching. Michael terms it as vertical coaching, and in the world of transformative coaching, this is the dimension that we're using to facilitate change. And what's really incredible about working here, and it's really fun, is that we get to explore how we are interacting with the world as a result of how we are being, how we are showing up as someone moves toward their goal. So it doesn't shut out the A to B goal. What it does, it helps us understand the deeper layers of our conscious being so that our experience of going from A to B is heightened, it is elevated, it is joyous, it is with ease, it is without the struggle, it is more satisfying and more enlightening. I really like the way that Michael Neill puts this, and that is, we can work on any goals we want throughout our life. But for any change to be lasting, it really occurs in this vertical dimension. It occurs when we look at our world differently. It occurs when we perceive things differently. It occurs when our whole world shifts. And I can say this quite passionately because this is how things in terms of the experience has shifted for me. I found that I am a high achiever and I could work on so many A to B goals. I can go from A to B, A to B, A to B on repeat. And my experience won't be that different except that I've had more judgment or ego or criticism on myself because of these A to B goals. But when I've actually started to dive deeper and looked at my understanding of how I was creating the experience of going from A to B, my whole world shifted. That was where I found access to inspiration easily. That is how I found access to effortless success. That is how I found access to joy whenever I wanted. So I thought about this simple Y and X axis model for a few days, and I was imagining myself having a conversation with someone who was interested in coaching. And, one of the new things I consider myself as having a role in when I am educating someone on the coaching that I do and how we would partner together is helping them understand the value of their dreams to them. And not in the A to B way. It's in the way of, how do you want to feel when you're going from A to B? What do you want that experience to look like? Who do you want to become when you're going from A to B? Because it isn't about the A to B at the end of the day. We want the things, the feeling that comes from going from A to B, and that doesn't change unless we look at the deeper layers. So imagine that if I was having a conversation with someone, I'd want them to leave with a really important question. Am I just interested in getting from A to B? Is that my priority? And there's no judgment there. Like, sometimes that is what's important for us right now, and that would make a really big difference in our life. Or am I curious to get to know better how this vertical dimension might be playing a role in how I'm showing up to move toward my goal? Whether that could be impacting the joy I feel throughout the day, whether that could be impacting the stress I feel in certain situations, and not to mention the uncertainty as I question things and get things done. Whether that could be the difference between me feeling like I need more in order to do more and be more, or whether I just know who I am and have complete freedom in showing up as just that person. Have fun with that, have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you in the next episode.